Financial modeling, in essence, is taking a problem in reality, summarizing it using numbers to be able to make a better decision. I'll give an example. Let's say you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to sell your business. So the key question you're asking yourself is, how much should you sell your business for? To be able to do this, you'll have to build a financial model, and the tool that we use is Excel in this case. And this financial model will be able to tell you at the end of the day how much should you be selling the business for based on a certain set of assumptions. And you can play around with those assumptions in this case to be able to find out then what's the right price you want to put out. And so that's what a financial model does. But really, the essence is you're taking a problem in reality and trying to summarize the numbers so that you can make the best decision possible. Back in 2007, as Investia Africa, we introduced a financial modeling competition called the Imari Financial Modeling Competition. Imari stands for strong, because we wanted to get the strongest, the best financial modelers across East Africa and take them and place them in different internship opportunities and job opportunities. Now, why did we start this financial modeling competition? The key reason behind it is because when we went around in the ecosystem, we found that we were having challenges getting good financial modelers. We know that if you go to our institutions, we have really bright students, but this skill of financial modeling was not one that was being taught consistently in our universities. And so we decided to give back by going back to our institutions and training students so that they can be able to get different opportunities. Of course, for us, it was also a benefit because we also get really good analysts from there that we recruit as Investia Africa. Some of the attributes of the Imari Financial Modeling Competition is that we use a methodology called FAST. FAST is not just about the speed of financial modeling, it's a methodology for creating financial models. It stands for flexible, appropriate, structured, and transparent financial models. And really, the way to think about this is to think about IFRS standards in accounting, International Financial Reporting Standards in accounting. And really what they did is that they brought a certain level of quality and standardization in the preparation of financial statements. And so what we wanted to do is to take the methodology that we use on a day-to-day basis for building financial models that we found are acceptable, they're used across the world, and train East African students to be able to apply the same methodology for their financial models. And so what we really promise students when they take part in this competition is that if they go through the competition diligently, they will learn a skill set that they can be able to use anywhere across the world to make themselves competitive when they go to the job market, and even if they want to start an entrepreneurship venture, they can be able to do that, but they'll be competitive across the world because they're using international standards for financial modeling. We like saying that in the Imari Fast Financial Modeling Competition, everyone is a winner. And the reason we say that is that anyone who takes part in this competition is going to get skills that they're going to use in their next job in the future. Right? And so the first thing we offer anyone who participates is the skills of financial modeling using the internationally recognized FAST standard. The second thing is that for the top 10 students, we'll take those students and we'll look to place them in internship positions in some of the various brands that we work with across. And so far we've worked with various partners who've come on board and they've taken some of these students and they've worked with them. Some of them include Aecon, which is a real estate development company, Horizons Africa, which is a financial advisory company, and so forth. And so really what we're doing is that we're supporting you in your next job, in this case, in your next internship, to be able to progress. The other thing we found that has been very useful is that some of the students who've gone through the FAST financial modeling competition become very competitive in future because it shapes how they think about finance from a very young age. And so some of the other courses they'll end up taking could be the CFA, in this case, supports them in their career progression into the future. I should also add that we feature very good speakers from the ecosystem who are very successful in the financial services sector. And these speakers come in to share their own experiences, to guide some of these students in terms of their career journeys and so forth. To be able to run the competition successfully, what we do is that at the beginning of the year, we start talking to different sponsors and talking to different institutions so that they can be ready for the competition once we officially start. For the partners, we're looking for partners, of course, across East Africa, and what we're trying to do is to get them to be on board so that they can support the activities that we're going to be doing. So what we do is that we have a virtual launch of the competition, and once we are done with the virtual launch of the competition, we go to the different institutions. We have a campus tour where we get to visit the institutions, train them on financial modeling, almost like an introduction to financial modeling. And then once we're done with that phase of the training, we take them into our online learning platform, learn.investia.com. And what they do there is that they find the whole course on financial modeling, where they can do a self-paced kind of training for themselves. And this is all leading up to the actual competition dates, where we're going to be releasing a case study, and the students will now then be taking that case study over a week and working on a problem that we've set for them. Now, this case study is very important because it's the one that helps us to identify the top students that we're going to then now give some additional training to, in terms of just being ready to work in an office environment, how to prepare their CVs, presentation skills and so forth, PowerPoint, a bit more analytical skills. And once we're done with that, these top 10 students who have now been awarded are then placed into the different internship positions with the partners that we've already put on board, some of our clients, and anybody out there in the ecosystem who's looking for a good financial modeler to join their team. The competition is an East African competition. We're looking for students across East Africa, and we've been fortunate so far to have universities in Kenya and Rwanda participating. So for instance, in Kenya, we've had Strathmore University, we've had University of Nairobi taking place, and several other universities across. In Rwanda, we've had the Africa Leadership University, we've had Rwanda University. And the important thing is that I'm just mentioning some of them, but we've had over 15 institutions taking place, and we are always looking for more institutions to take part into the competition. Now, something important to mention is that you enter the competition as an individual, not as an institution. The reason we're speaking about the institution is because we work with the institutions very closely to be able to market the competition, to be able to sensitize the students within the institutions to join and to take part in this competition. And now the other thing that's important to mention is that we also have very many sponsors who've been part of this journey with us. One of the key sponsors is a FAST Standard organization. This is the organization that is behind the FAST Standard, that helped to establish that standard and keeps improving on that standard. It's based out of the UK. On top of that, we have other players in the finance sector. We have the East African Venture Capital Association. We really appreciate their partnership, because what they do is that they try to bring in the venture capital and private equity ecosystem, especially when we're looking to place students for the different internships or opportunities. We also have just private sector players who like the work that we're doing, who want to have an impact in the ecosystem, that have been part of this journey. It goes without saying that the work that we are doing is only possible because of the sponsorship that we receive. And so we're always looking for sponsors who are going to help us to be able to move the financial modeling gospel across the continent, across East Africa. We really value the support that we receive from the different sponsors who've been part of the journey since 2007 to really spread the gospel of the financial modeling competition across East Africa. And part of the reason that we see some of these sponsors taking part is, number one, some of them just want to have an impact in the ecosystem. They're looking for an avenue that they can support the financial services ecosystem, take the youth that we have and help them to be able to get really good opportunities, really good jobs in this case. And this is one of the key ways that they see that adds a lot of value, because they see the impact right at the end. But very specifically, there's also those sponsors who come to us and tell us, we want to get a really good financial modeler, an intern to join our team. And we usually tell them that these are very good opportunity for you to do good, but also go ahead and get a good financial modeler who's going to join your team. So we'll do the heavy lifting in terms of going to the ecosystem, looking for different financial modelers that are going to take part into this, and we'll place them in your institution. So what happens is that of the top 10 that we get, the sponsors who've taken part in the competition will give them the opportunity to select the student that they want to join their teams, in this case, as an intern, and eventually probably get a job within the institution. On top of that, as a sponsor, we'll feature your brand. As we're going out in the different campus tours that we're making, we'll speak about your brand. We'll mention that you're one of the key sponsors that we've worked with. We'll also feature you in some of the webinars. And so then from that perspective, anyone who's looking to reach out to some of the young people in our different institutions to speak about the work that they're doing, this offers a very great opportunity for them to be able to do that. So far, we've worked with over 15 institutions. We've trained over 1,500 students across East Africa, and we've placed over 100 of them in different internship positions. The first thing I have to say is that one of the key things we've learned as an institution is that we enjoy doing this. And whenever new team members come and join the team and they're part of the financial modeling competition, it gives them a certain level of purpose. Because some of them probably have studied in some of these institutions. But on a broader scale, we've also found out that there's really good talent in East Africa. There's extremely good talent for financial modeling that just needs to be honed so that they can be able to be placed in the different opportunities. And we like that, and we're always talking about that, and that's why we do it as often as we do. The other thing we found is that there's a lot of demand for good financial modelers. And so the different partners who take part in the competition, they're very happy with some of the students they get out of the competition that join the institutions. And that's because there's a lot of hunger to get really good financial modeling talent that's able to join the institution. The key dates for the Imari First Financial Modeling Competition for this year depends on whether you're a sponsor or a student who wants to participate in the competition. If you're a sponsor, we started recruiting sponsors right from the beginning of the year, and so we would urge you to get in touch with us to be able to be part of this journey of the financial modeling competition. As a student, your dates to watch out for are the launch date, which is the 9th of September. We're going to be having a virtual launch through a webinar. So please join that. We'll get to answer any questions that you have around the competition, and you'll be able to also understand any eligibility requirements and so forth, so that then you can start your journey. From that point onwards, then we'll be visiting your different campuses, and then we'll be expecting that once we get to the 28th of October, that you'll be ready to start doing the case study that we'll share with you. That case study will be open for 1 week, from 28th of October to the 4th of November. 4th of November is a submission date, and we close that right at midnight. And from that point onwards, the ball is on our court, where we get to evaluate, and then we'll be communicating much later in December in terms of the different winners, and then working with them from that point onwards to be able to place them in the different internship opportunities.